Barcelona is an amazing city to explore. So what are the best things to do while staying there? Well, here's our top 10 list with a few travel tips along the way. It's John from Cruise Fever here, and I just got back from a cruise out of Barcelona. I got there 2 days early just so I could check out the city and make this video. Whether you're in Barcelona on a cruise or as a destination, I hope you find this list helpful, but feel free to add your own things to do in the comment section below in case I missed something. And at the end of this list, I'm going to give a few notable mentions. Here are my top 10 things to do in Barcelona. Counting down from 10, number 10 is Montjuïc Castle. You can see Montjuïc Castle from the cruise port as it sits on top of Montjuïc Hill. This castle is rich in history. Originally built in 1640, the castle was used in the Catalan revolt. It was demolished and rebuilt in 1751 and was used during the Napoleonic Wars and also used by both sides in the Spanish Civil War from 1936 to 1939. You can book a guided tour of the castle or just walk around the outside and enjoy the beautiful gardens. I actually walked up all those stairs of the mountain to the castle, but I recommend taking the Montjuïc cable car and taking some views of the city along the way. Number 9, Casa Mila and Casa Batlló. I put these two architectural wonders together as they're not too far apart geographically, and they both represent some of the best works of Antoni Gaudi. Gaudi is highly revered in Barcelona, and you'll find many of his artistic works throughout the city. Both are UNESCO World Heritage Sites and incorporate the Art Nouveau style. Casa Milà is also known as the Stone Quarry, and from the exterior, it's easy to see why. Anyone interested in architecture will love Casa Milà and the roof terrace. Casa Batlló's nickname is House of Bones. It was not originally designed by Gaudi, but was remodeled by the famed architect. The interior patio is stunning, and this is a great pick for families and those intrigued by imaginative design. I recommend you get there early to avoid crowded spaces while touring these sites, as it can get a little bit cramped, especially in Casa Batllo. Number 8, Ciutadella Park. This park is the most vibrant and perhaps the most important in Barcelona. Originally a military fortification, Parc de la Ciutadella today offers something for everyone. There's the zoo, an incredible expansive fountain based somewhat on the Trevi Fountain in Rome, a museum of natural science, even the opportunity for boat rentals on the lake. And with so much greenery, there's plenty of space for a lovely picnic. Number 7, Camp Nou. Even if you're not into football or soccer, Camp Nou is a fantastic place to visit. With a seating capacity at almost 100,000, this is the largest football stadium in Europe and is the home stadium of FC Barcelona. When no games are taking place, visitors can tour the stadium, go behind the scenes, walk along the field, and tour the Barça Museum. For football fans, this is a must-see in Barcelona. Number 6, the Magic Fountain of Montjuïc. I absolutely loved seeing the Magic Fountain show while I was there. The fountain is situated right below the National Art Museum and near Plaça de España, so it's an easy metro stop at Plaça de España. Will take you a short walk from the fountain. The fountain was originally designed for the 1929 Barcelona Expo. Today, the fountain sprays 700 gallons of water a second, and the highest water spout is 170 feet. Performance times vary by times of year, but take place roughly at either 8 or 9 o'clock, and they last about an hour. Prepare to be met by crowds of people and vendors along the way, but a visit to the fountain is free and worth the trip. Number 5, La Boqueria. Officially named Mercat de Sant Josep de la Boqueria, or La Boqueria for short, this marketplace is one of the city's original landmarks. First mention of La Boqueria goes back to 1217. Today, the market has a metal enclosure and sells a variety of meats, fruits, vegetables, and other culinary delights. One of the best smoothies I ever had was at La Boqueria. So smooth, I think it was a strawberry coconut. It's easy to find. La Boqueria is right off Las Ramblas, and if you're taking the metro, you can stop at Les Sous on the Green Line. Number 4, the Gothic Quarter. You can spend an entire day just visiting the Gothic Quarter, as it involves quite a bit of real estate and tons of history, including Roman ruins. In fact, the largest Roman excavation outside of Rome is found in the Gothic Quarter. You can still see some of the original Roman walls as part of the Barcelona Cathedral. Walking the narrow, winding streets through the oldest part of the city, you'll find fascinating sights like the Barcelona Cathedral, Plaça Real, and shops on every corner. The Gothic Quarter of Barcelona is right off the east side of Las Ramblas. And speaking of Las Ramblas, that is number 3. This iconic street is almost a rite of passage for any first-time visitor to Barcelona. This is the centermost street that cuts through the heart of the city. It always provides a bustling atmosphere for shopping, eating, or watching performers entertain the tourists. Las Ramblas begins at Plaça de Catalunya and ends at the Christopher Columbus Memorial, about 1.2 kilometers to the south. The street is almost all pedestrian traffic, and you know you're at the halfway point when you see the theater. You can beware of pickpockets when walking through Las Ramblas, just as you should in the metro, but while I was there was no problem. Number 2, Park Güell. Considered the most colorful place in Barcelona and a masterpiece of Antoni Gaudi, Park Güell is another UNESCO World Heritage Site. This park is full of imaginative design and intriguing spaces, and you can often hear performers playing music. Some of the park is free, but if you want to sit on the serpentine bench and get a picture with the lucky lizard, you'll have to pay to get in. Within the park is the Gaudi Museum, and is where Gaudi spent the last 20 years of his life. If you take the metro to the park, it will require quite a bit of walking and stair climbing, and there are a lot of steps within the park as well, so the easiest way is just to take a taxi and enjoy the park. And number 1, Sagrada Familia. Sagrada Familia is an immense, unfinished basilica that dominates the landscape and is a marvel of architecture. It's also quite controversial. Construction on the church began well over 100 years ago, in 1882, under architect Francisco de Paula de Villar, who resigned a year later, and none other than Antoni Gaudi took over the project. Before his death in 1926, Gaudi once stated that his client was in no hurry. Over 24 million euros a year are spent on the construction of Sagrada Familia, and there has been some controversy surrounding whether or not the design is exactly as Gaudi had wanted, since some of his original plans were destroyed. It is estimated that the church will be completed in 2026, 100 years after Gaudi's death. The style of the church can be described as Catalan modernism and Art Nouveau. I recommend booking a tour of the church in advance to avoid long lines, and of course, you could walk around the amazing structure for free. Every angle of the basilica offers intricate design to appreciate. The church is also very easy to visit by metro, as it's only a few steps away from the L5 or Blue Line. So that's my top 10 list, but of course there are more than 10 things to do in Barcelona. Here are a few notable mentions of popular sites. The Picasso Museum, the beaches of Barcelona, the Palace of Catalan Music, the Barcelona City History Museum, Montserrat, meaning literally serrated mountain in Catalan. It's about 30 miles from Barcelona, but well worth the visit. And Plaça de Catalunya, the heart of Barcelona, where the old city meets new, and if you book a free walking tour of Barcelona, it probably starts here. I actually did a free walking tour with a company called Free Walking Tours Barcelona, and I highly recommend you do this. It's a great way to see the city if you've never been there before. And how it works is at the end of the tour, you just pay the tour guide whatever you feel the tour was worth. This company uses a purple umbrella. You'll see blue ones and other companies that are there, but usually it starts in Plaça de Catalunya. I also highly recommend getting the Barcelona Card Express. I bought this card for 18 euros, gives you 48 hours to use the metro as much as you want, the train, the bus, the funicular. I pretty much went anywhere I wanted to go in the city for 18 euros. And it also, by getting this card, includes a lot of discounts at over 90 different tourist attractions within the city. And there is now actually a metro stop at the airport. So when I flew in, I was able to take the metro with my Barcelona Card Express, take it straight into the city, and explore all these wonderful places for 18 euros. So it's a great deal. You want to beware of pickpockets on the metro, but as long as you use some common sense and keep all your belongings in front, you should be okay. Well, I hope you learned something of value in this video today and got some inspiration for visiting Barcelona. And if you have some things to add to the list, like I said, please leave it in the comments below so we can all benefit from them. And if you're cruising out of Barcelona soon or have any questions about the port or the experience there, you can feel free to ask me and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can.